Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Oklahoma Counseling Institute Monday Lunchtime Digest. Hello, Hayley. Happy Monday.
Hello, Micah. Happy Monday. How are you today?
I am doing well. How was your weekend?
It was busy, 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 but good, good, good. How about
Good.
you?
Awesome. Busy, 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 but good. Yeah. So,
Good.
so I know we have a lot going on with OCI, and we also have a lot of news to talk about with Oklahoma Mental Health as well. So, tell us what's going on with OCI.
So with OCI, we have lots and lots to talk about. And so I'm happy to announce we have another training coming up in December. We already are starting to work out our winter webinar weekend. So mark your calendars, my friends, because it is going to be December 5th, 6th, and 7th this year. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It'll be 18 hours of CEUs, including ethics and supervision. I'm very happy to announce that on Saturday, December 7th from 2 o'clock to 5:15 p.m., we're going to be hosting Dr. Alan Barsky. So, Dr. Alan Barsky, he is a lawyer and a therapist. He has his master's degree in social work, a very well rounded individual, and he will be talking about the ethics of going to court. And so he'll be discussing what should a therapist do when they get subpoenaed, whenever they get called to court. What are our obligations ethically, as well as what is our obligations to our clients. And so that is going to be a really exciting training. It'll be 3 hours of ethics, again, Saturday, December 7th, and that sign up is available now. We also have a brand new consultation group getting started here in September. So starting on Monday, September 9th, we're going to welcome one of our favorite presenters, Dr. Scott Secor. He is going to be doing an 8-week consultation group on acceptance and commitment therapy. Consultation group is called Act Right. I'm really proud of that pun there. But if you've ever been interested in learning about acceptance and commitment therapy and would like a little bit of supervision and sharpening those skills, be sure to join us. And so, again, that starts on September 9th. And if you have any questions or if you'd like to sign up, go to counselinginstitute.org. So lots of exciting things. We also have a couple new on-demand trainings. Our newest one was just published on Friday by our very own Micah Perkins. Micah's drug and alcohol specific training on working with trauma and substance abuse was published on Friday. And so if you need those 3 hours of CEs, we also just got our approval number from the LADC board. So we are officially approved, Micah,
Yeah.
for LADC trainings. And so if you have any questions, email us hello@edmondcounseling.com. Sign up for any of these trainings or consultations at counselinginstitute.org.
Yeah, thank you, Haley. I know we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I am really excited about that ACT consultation with Dr. Secor. And so I know I've gone to a few ACT trainings myself. I know, Haley, you have as well. But to be able to meet with someone in a group of people and just talk about, okay, this is my client, what they're dealing with. How do I apply some of these principles with them? So I think it will be a really great opportunity for people. So certainly check that out at counselinginstitute.org and get signed up. We anticipate that it will fill up pretty quickly. We're keeping it limited in the number of people just so that it can be a smaller group and people can have time to consult their cases. So certainly check that out and sign up. It does not count for continuing education credit, but still is invaluable to have just for your own clinical practice. And God forbid, if you happen to get I don't know, sued or brought up to the board or something, you have extra documentation to show that you actually received consultation in these techniques that you were using, which is always really good to have to keep us legally safe on that. So, Haley, what is going on with mental health news in Oklahoma?
And so I don't have anything for Oklahoma this week, but I do have nationally some new studies. Would you like
Oh,
me to talk about that first, Mike, or do you want to share
yes.
about what's going on in Oklahoma?
Well, I am eager to talk about what's going on in Oklahoma first. So, the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health recently came out with some of their rule changes. And so you can find that at the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health website. And so clicking there and just looking through some of the changes that they have coming up, some changes. It's really a lot of just kind of cleaning up some of the questions that people have had. So some cleaning up some changes in supervision on what is considered that. They now make telehealth supervision be the same as in-person supervision, so there's no difference there. They reduced what's considered full time from 20 hours a week to 5 hours a week, which I thought was really big. So working 5 hours a week in a clinic as opposed to 20 hours a week is considered full time. And the requirement is that you have to work full time during supervision. So now it's down to 5 hours. Something else that is really noteworthy is where they basically have done away with the need for continuing education providers to be um, board approved in order to receive continuing education. Now, Oklahoma Counseling Institute is a board approved with the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health. So if you just want to be doubly sure that your continuing education will count, will come to us. Also, they do have still in their requirements that presenters have to meet in order for them to accept the continuing education. And so because we take care of our Oklahoma mental health providers, we make sure that every single one of our presenters meet those qualifications. So if you happen to get your continuing education from somewhere else, then a lot of these national companies, they aren't looking at Oklahoma specifically, and so we are. And so we are putting those out there to be sure that those count for continuing education in Oklahoma. But then also, just as a side note, we are a NBCC, continuing education provider. That's National Board of Certified Counselors. So a lot of out-of-state boards will take NBCC continuing education. So if you happen to be watching this and you are out of state, we do count for NBCC credit as well. And any type of on-demand or other type of trainings that don't meet NBCC standards are clearly marked on our website. But Hayley, I was eager to get that out there because I know people on social media are talking about some of the changes in the rules and regulations from the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health. So have you had a chance to look over it?
I have, especially that 5-hour rule. That would have helped me a lot in candidacy because I had a couple of weeks early on as you're building your caseload where I was working, but I didn't quite meet that 20-hour threshold. Maybe it was 17, or maybe it was 10 or something like that. And by the time April rolled around, I was only about 5 or 6 hours short being able to get my license in April. So I had to wait until June. And so that would have helped me to be able to get licensed a bit earlier if I could have counted those weeks where I was below 20 hours. So I'm really glad that they're giving candidates that leeway. I think that's really going to help folks, especially, that first 2 or 3 weeks or first 2 or 3 months of candidacy. It's a bit challenging to build up your caseload quickly, even if you are working full-time at a facility. So I'm happy that they made that change. And it sounds like the supervision requirement too will also help supervisors be able to reach more folks in rural areas easier too.
Yeah, definitely. And also, the other thing that they marked out is on their directory of mental health therapists, of LPCs, LMFTs, LPPs, where they explicitly say that they will not include information like the licensed person's address and things like that. So they haven't been doing that for a long time. They've hidden that off of their website so people could go in, they could see like what your licensure number is and if you've had any board complaints, things like that. But that personal information they haven't had on their website for a while. But going through this recent rule change, they just marked that out so that it's not even in the rules that it's going to be included. So that was kind of a nice thing to see as well, that their practice is being consistent with what the rules actually are.
Absolutely. And so lots of changes. And like Micah said, be sure to check that out on the board's website. All of them are up as of Thursday.
Yeah, it happened. I want to say late Thursday, and so people are kind of talking about it on Friday, and then a little bit over the weekend too. So it's pretty new. So Hayley, you said you had some national news. So what's going on nationally with mental health?
Yeah, so I guess it should technically be international. So a study was published in Australia earlier this week that found that, so as we know, stress, high levels of stress can put folks at a higher risk of developing dementia. And what the research has found over and over again is that the higher cortisol can lead to cell damage, which can make it more likely that folks develop dementia and other related disorders. Well, what this study has also found is that anxiety can also lead to an increase in dementia. So chronic anxiety in folks between the ages of 60 and 81, what they found was that chronic anxiety led to the development of the protein beta amyloid. And so that is a protein that's buildup can lead to an increased risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's. And so, which is challenging because, if we have anxiety, then we can increase dementia, but also dementia can increase our risk of anxiety. And so they're really exploring that relationship right now too. So they recommend, if you have chronic anxiety, to seek out mental health treatment, to, also look at our stressors in our life. As I think we talked a few weeks ago about staying busy as in our older years. Like, we want to stay busy in order to decrease dementia. But if we're too busy or we get stressed out, that can increase our risk. And so, something really interesting, that anxiety can increase that risk just like stress, but in a different way.
That is helpful. I think the more I hear about that, I feel like I'm doomed with stress and as anxiety. So I'm going to have to certainly find better ways to distress. Or de-stress. So Hayley, any other mental health news that you have?
No, that was a big study for this week. It give us enough anxiety for the week. I don't think we can need anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things I want to point out, because I just posted it this morning, and so it is on the Oklahoma Counseling Institute feed, and it is from Natick. And so Natick posted recent news talking about how in vitro mental cannabis exposure affects the fetus. And so, we had just talked last week about how Oklahoma court determined that medical marijuana smoked or consumed during pregnancy is not considered child endangerment. And so whenever they issued that, they say this is according to the law, but the judges said, we hope that the Oklahoma legislators will change that, because they do recognize that in vitro exposure to cannabis can be harmful for the baby, for the fetus. And so that's where I just found it really interesting that this Natick had posted this information about how it affects unborn babies and fetuses. So certainly check that out as well. But that is an interesting piece of news, that prescribed marijuana is not considered child abuse or neglect in Oklahoma at this time.
I think we're still in the Wild West when it comes to medical marijuana. And so I'm interested to see what kinds of studies and research come out in the next years to really help us understand how it can be helpful medicinally, but also it seems to be a lot left unresearched when it comes to the possible detrimental effects too.
Yeah, definitely. So Hayley, who was our winner for this week's drawing?
So this week's winner was Liz Phillips. What did Liz win? Yay.
Congratulations, Liz. You have won a gift card to Bath and Body Works. So thank you so much for supporting the Oklahoma Counseling Institute. So tell us, Hayley, how did Liz win this week?
So Liz won by being one of the folks who liked last week's post. And so if you would like to be like Liz, what we would like you to do is like, comment, or share this post. Every time you do one of those three things, you get another entrance into the drawing for next week. And so in order to comment for next week, we're going to, just like last time, tell you a question this week. And Micah, what was our question? I know I gave you three answers, but I already forgot what it was. I gave you three.
It is, what is something that you are watching or reading this week?
That's right.
Hayley, what are you watching or reading this week?
So I am on one of my candy show kicks this week, and I'm watching a show called Midnight Diner Tokyo Stories on Netflix. It is a show about this gentleman who owns a restaurant that's only open from midnight to 7 a.m. in Tokyo. And it's just a really sweet show. It's episodic. no big drama. Everyone's happy and friends. Everyone comes into his diner at like midnight. He has everyone from yakuza folks to old gentlemen to people who work in other restaurants come in, and they just tell stories, and you see their life play out through this little diner. There's no drama, there's no story arcs, there's nothing like that. I know how every episode is going to end, but you know what? It's fun and I enjoy it.
Uh, well, and that would be something that I would find myself, I think, normally gravitating to is something with very little drama, especially, considering the work that we do, that
Mhm.
I am ready for something really low key, at the end of the day. But Hayley, what Trinity and I are really into right now is Selling Sunset, which is on Netflix. They have all, I think, 7 seasons. And if you haven't seen it, it is a reality TV show about this real estate agency in California and like Beverly Hills and things like that. And they are selling these houses there. So these are just phenomenal houses that they're selling. And then, of course, they're dealing with the buyers and the sellers. So there's some drama there, but there's a lot of drama in between the different realtors that work in the office. And
Mm.
so I'm um, watching all of that drama there, which normally I kind of don't like watching a whole lot of kind of stuff like that. But, it's watching these are beautiful houses. These are beautiful people. So I'm just like, okay, let me watch a little drama that goes along with that. So that's what Trinity and I are into right now, Selling Sunset.
Hey, it's also a candy show. I call candy shows are the shows that what I call the shows that you watch. So you know they're not good for you, but they feel good. You don't want to watch them all the time, but sometimes you need a little candy, right?
There you go. There you go. So we'd love to hear from you on what is something that you're into right now. What are you watching? What are you reading? Give us some ideas of what's good out there. Probably better things for my brain than watching sunset. So we'd love to hear from you. And of course, anytime that you like, share, comment, you tell a colleague about us, you attend one of our in-person workshops or on-demand webinars or our live webinars that are coming up, then you are helping to promote the mission of providing quality continuing education in Oklahoma. And we thank you so much for that. So everyone have a good week and we will see you later.
Have a good week.
Bye, everyone.